Welcome to week 3 already of our class. This is SCI 1015, looking at Introduction to Life Sciences. Let me go ahead and share screen so that way we're all on the same page as to what is due for the week. All right, so you'll see here again, I'm in week 3, enzymes and cellular transport. So remember last week we introduced the cell. So we took a look at the function of the cell. What is a eukaryote? What is a prokaryote? Organelles of the cell as well, so the important functions of cells and organelles in terms of what they do. This week we're going to go a little bit deeper and look at enzymes and cell transport. So we're going to look at how the metabolic functions work in cells, also look at how things get into the cell, things that we need like certain solutes, salts, water, and then also how certain things don't get into the cell, like how it is prevented through the plasma membrane, looking at viruses, contaminants, things like that. So for this week's readings, focus on chapter 3, so 3.4 to 3.6. You're going to read about the cell membrane, how it, again, allows certain things in and not things in, keeps things out. Also look at how those things get in through active and passive transport. Chapter 4 is a good chapter as well to take a look at. So look at 4.1 and 4.2, looking at how we obtain energy. So a little bit about energy metabolism, as well as a process called glycolysis. Here's some PowerPoints that go along with some of the material here, specifically looking at metabolism, and some videos and tutorials in addition. So for your discussion, remember your initial post here due Thursday, your 2 follow-up responses due by Sunday. You're going to take a look at this article called Metabolic Diseases, and you're going to choose one of the metabolic disorders, and you're going to talk about it. Describe the disorder, describe maybe some of the symptoms of the disorder. What is the role of the enzyme that causes that disorder, and how its activity is affected by the defect? Are there any treatments available for this particular metabolic disorder? Are there any studies going on? So as much information as possible. Your participatory responses should be about a paragraph or so. So, don't say, hey, that's great. It's interesting. I didn't know that. Of course, in more detail, maybe you have some specific questions about that disorder or that metabolic disorder. Maybe you have some experience with it and you want to share something as well too. So again, your initial post for the metabolic disorder due Thursday, your 2 follow-up responses due by Sunday. Make sure you complete your week 3 quiz. So that's also due Sunday. There's an assignment called Transport Proteins on Strike. Here's a case study link. So click on this link. And then here are 9 questions to address, and each of the questions have specific points associated with them. So make sure you provide as much information as possible. So for instance, what is the meaning behind the phospholipids chant? That's just a quick little blurb about what that means. But then if you go to, something like this question here, could oxygen and carbon dioxide make the same claim as glucose and amino acid? Why or why not? Again, that why or why not really prompts you to discuss that. So just don't say yes or no, discuss it, because it is worth 10 points. Again, that week 3 assignment due Sunday. And then your research checkpoint here, just making sure that we're trotting along here. You found your health claim. You critiqued it a little bit. You found some keywords. Now we're going to talk about some of the information in terms of research here. So for this one, you're going to be required to have a minimum of 4 sources in the paper. So here is the actual what is required. One of the sources is going to be your health claim article, the one that you specifically originally chose. One's going to be a primary research article, and the other 2 can be just websites or news articles. So again, one actual health claim. Another one is a related research article. So it's been peer reviewed and everything. If you're not sure what that is, go to our library. There's great resources about what peer reviewed means. And then the other 2, just some websites or general information about your health claim. So again, you're going to include links to the online sources. The purpose is just basically just to get you, just used to APA formatting and research here. Make sure you read over everything here, because there are also some very specific things. So for instance, here, make sure you use high quality sources. So don't go to Wikipedia or, a blog. Make sure it's actually reputable. You're also going to attach a Word document that has bulleted notes about the health claim coming from each of those sources. So again, the rubric has more information about this. And then also the works cited page that has the references listed in MLA format. I think I said APA, but MLA. I accept either, by the way. So I'm not going to, if you're used to APA, I'll accept APA. But I think MLA is what JWU uses. So either one is fine with me. So again, just to recap here, your discussion initial post due on Thursday. So again, talking about a metabolic disorder that's chosen from this link here. Your 2 follow-up responses due by Sunday. Your quiz and your transport proteins on strike, as well as your checkpoint research, the 4 articles and everything that is also due on Sunday. Let me know if you have any questions, and I look forward to some really great information and great discussions online this week.